Hello everybody, and welcome back to a very exciting video here on my channel. And I'm so sorry, by the time you're seeing this, it's already past Christmas. This is a little bit delayed. Sitting here, it is the day after Thanksgiving. It is Black Friday, and I probably look a mess, but I just did a couple errands, ran around without anybody with me. My husband went hunting, and somebody was watching our kid. He spent the night somewhere at a cousin's house. So basically, I got to have the day to just go shopping for both of them, and I had a blast, and other people in the family. And I kind of want to go over, it started as a thrift haul, and at first I was thinking, oh, I'll make a thrift haul and then I'll add on to it like I did the last time. I think I'm just gonna do a straight Black Friday thrift haul, but also what I bought as well. So some of this is also from Harbor Freight and Walmart, and I just want to share everything with y'all. Well, not everything, but most of the things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this massive haul. I think I'm gonna backtrack first. I think I'm actually gonna do the Harbor Freight and then we'll get into the Walmart stuff, because I feel like the more exciting stuff is thrifting. Before leaving Harbor Freight, I was this close to buying a low profile 3-ton jack because it was only $99. And originally I think they were over 100 and some odd dollars. Unless you want like the real fancy Daytona ones, then I think they're like 260 on sale for 260. All of their jacks were 30% off. And if you did not know, we have an ATSV. It's also very low to the ground in general. And we've always considered or had a couple cars that are more lower, but normally we can work around that. And that car in specific, we work around, but it is very difficult. And we really need a low profile jack. And I really want to get one for my husband, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I want that kind of money right now because we already have a nice jack. It's lasted us for many years, but it's also more so for the trucks and then also some of the other vehicles we have. So I did not pick one up. I'm still contemplating, but I think I'm done spending money. Like, I spent way too much, but I also didn't get gas. So basically what I had planned to spend, I spent maybe about 50 over what I had planned, but I never got gas, which is maybe a problem, but that's a future problem for me. So I'm not that worried. But at Harbor Freight, I did just pick up some of the things that I couldn't, one, either find at Walmart, or two, I wanted to go there just to see what they had or what they had in like the clearance and open box section. And they also had a low profile jack over there, and it was like 100. I think actually that one was like $89. It was an open box one. I contemplated that one too. So one of the first things that I did pick up is just a grit guard. We have so many buckets, we use so many buckets, and none of them have grit guards. And honestly, the water gets really dirty. So it'd be nice to have one of these, and I like this. I seen this and I contemplated getting it. And also my husband, one day when we were in there, he kind of grabbed it and I said, no, put it back. We're not buying it. But in reality, I was like, I'm making a mental list for Christmas. Put it back so I have something that I can actually buy you. I did pick this one up. I think it was only like $6 or so. Actually, I have the receipt somewhere. And then I'm not very happy with this purchase. And I say that because we had a really nice sponge, but our sponge started falling apart. So I did buy this from Harbor Freight. They didn't have any at Walmart, and I don't mind this one. I just wanted a more like micro, almost like the other thing that I have. It's more of like a microfiber. I'll show you, that's from Walmart. The sponge was $3.99, so it was a little cheaper than if I would have bought a really basic one from Walmart. That probably was not even gonna last, but I hope this one holds up. Otherwise, we'll just go to maybe AutoZone, and maybe AutoZone will have the one that I'm specifically looking for. And then for $6.99, I did pick up some glass towels. I had a couple little ones, more like almost like the size of microfiber cloths, but half the size. This is a 3-pack for them, and I've been curious to see if these work as good as my other ones did because they're a different texture. We don't necessarily need more microfibers, but at the same time, you can never have too many. And since these are specifically for glass, maybe we can buy some and not use them for other things, so they're not dirty, if you know what I mean. All right, since we're on the car topic, let's go into Walmart and the car section. We already have a mitt, but I think it's starting to fall apart. So here's another mitt that I picked up. Hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer. And this one in specific is kind of like the texture of the sponge I was looking for. It had like these little microfiber tassel things. I don't know what to call them exactly, but I'm not gonna say the overall price that I spent at Walmart. I felt like I walked out of there with way too much money that I spent. This was $8.97 at Walmart. So it's not too bad, but it's massive. It's a lot bigger than the other one that we have. Then for $6.97 each, I did pick up 2 new dry towels. We have a couple of these, but a lot of them aren't really dry anymore. I probably have dried them a few too many times, even though you're not supposed to. I used to do that in the beginning. I don't do that anymore. However, I think they're kind of ruined, and also they're getting old. We've had them for like 10 years. It's time to move on. Let's just buy some new ones. Let's test out these ones. I wasn't sure what actual like GSM to get, so I got with just the lower ones, but if these don't work out as much, I'm gonna go to the higher ones because I think all of our ones that work really good have felt like this, and they were all the same price pretty much. So I was like, why not just grab 2 of these? Now there are a few items that I got him kind of for Christmas, and then some other things not necessarily for Christmas, like socks, deodorant, that miscellaneous sort. So I'm not gonna show those because I don't really care about those. For these items, items, I'm not gonna actually talk about the price because they're all relatively around $6 to $11, give or take. It just depends on what, and also I don't feel like looking at the receipt. It's really hard to tell which one specifically I bought from the receipt because it doesn't come up what the actual item is. It just says car care product, which is not helping me. However, I did pick up some more car soap for our foam cannon, and I just went with the turtle wax. We like the hybrid, and then they had a lot of stuff missing, and we also like the McGuire's, and I think they have a ceramic line too. Those are really nice, but I didn't really see any that I really wanted, except for I think they had Adam soap and then a little bit of the new F1 line, which I think is Armor All, but that is the only Armor All product that I kind of like, is the F1 series. That one was really good. Speaking of, I also got one can of this. This is actually the exterior detail, like the ceramic coating. So we do like this, and it smells like cologne in a way. It's so weird. We're gonna see how well it actually works. We've been kind of using it a while, and it seems to have worked. It's like their best Armor All product. If I had to choose any product, it would be this stuff. I mean, I kind of do that because I don't like Armor All and I don't like Chemical Guys either, so you won't see those two products in here except for this. This is the only exception. I got two things to spray away. Can't really go wrong with these. I couldn't remember if we had these or not, and also look at these tops. They changed them. I feel like this is going to be so easy to use, and it's got a lock still on it. I don't know if this is going to be really good or not. Sometimes I feel like turtle wax is a little bit hit or miss, but I did see this. This is new as far as I know. I've never seen it, and it's kind of similar to this that you spray on afterwards. It's like a wax, and I just kind of want to try it out because we used to get their hard shell waxes and McGuire's hard shell waxes, and we haven't done hard shell waxes in a very long time. I think when I last did it, it was when my husband was deployed in 2019. So it's been a very long time, and I do want to try this out because I've never seen it before. And we're over here trying stuff out all the time. Don't worry, it's another ceramic coating basically. This is from Subs Lab. However, if you're wondering if this is maybe too much exterior spray, then you do not know how we take care of our vehicles. We do it a lot. Over here, we spray, we go through these a lot because, especially with the V, the TBSS, even the wagon, I feel like we're always spraying them down and cleaning them, trying to keep them looking nice, you know? The one and only item that I got for my son at Walmart is actually just this 3-pack of Dino tees. They were on clearance for $8, which I was like, okay, that is fine. We just have this tee. We have a basic tee that I really liked. I think it has a pocket. Yeah, it has a little pocket up here. And then we have this Dino tee on the back. I wanted in specific some black tees, just simple ones that could go under flannels for him when we button him up. That way he has an undershirt on, an extra layer. They did not have any in his size. For my husband, I did get him, I think this is Hanes. No, this is George. I got him another one of these button-ups, and it's just a little thermal. I used to have so many of these, and then I outgrew them because I had a baby. And then I do have one that still fits me, even though I bought it right before I found out I was pregnant, because I was already a couple months pregnant, didn't know, and I was gaining weight. And so it fits me still, and I love this. So I did pick him out one. It's a blue. I hope he loves it. He doesn't really have too many long sleeves, so I went out a little bit today and bought him a few. And then next, we do have this flannel, but it's like a coat jacket. My mom actually got him one, I think in 2019, give or take. Might have been a Wrangler instead of this one being a George. He loved it, but he's also worn it out so badly that the insulation on the inside that you can see, it's on his elbow. He's got a hole there. It's a hole everywhere. It's falling apart. They had a beautiful green one, and I really wanted it, but they only had smalls and mediums. I had to find the only one that had a large, and it was this blue, which I don't mind. They also had a white one, but I didn't think the white was more his style. That's more like not the type of man my husband is. He's more of, in my mind, I'm gonna say a manly man, and don't take that with disrespect, but I did get him this blue one, and I just wanted to replace his old one because he's been grabbing that so many times, and then he remembers it's ripped and he has to put it back when we go out. So I hope he likes this pattern. I want to give it to him before Christmas, to be honest, but I think he'll have to wait just like 20 something days. Christmas related stuff that I did pick up. I did pick up some tissue paper. I mean, it's Christmas time. I have bags. Also, I got these box set, or the set of boxes. I think there's 10 gift boxes in here. I really need to go to Amazon or somewhere and get one of these like organizers for wrapping paper, bows, ribbons, boxes, bags, everything like that. This one was so cute though. It has like a deer on the back. There's some other patterns on here that I really like, but it was this or the Christmas tree or Santa, I do believe. There wasn't too many options that I really liked, and then I seen this one and I was like, this is the one I'm getting. I want this one. And also I picked up this giant bag because my husband has a semi-large gift, and this was the biggest bag that I could find for that, or the smallest bag technically for the present, or the size that I thought. It was either this size or basically this size for a bag. There was no in between. It is huge, but I hope it fits everything, and maybe I can stuff it with more stuff on the side, like the shirts or something. That is everything that I'm going to go over from Harbor Freight and also Walmart. So let's get into the thrift haul section of this haul. And let me just tell you, I went to 2 different locations, but they were both St. Vincent, and I made enough in the first visit to get $100 or were over 100 points, so I was able to use $5 off on my second trip. This first item I'm gonna show you is something that when I seen it, it was one of the first things I seen. I instantly grabbed it. I got so excited, and I'm still so excited about this. I'm not even gonna wrap this. I'm gonna put this under the tree. He's just gonna come out and instantly see it, and I cannot wait for it. The little backstory on this is I was playing The Sims one day, and I was decorating a nursery, and I had a CC, which is custom content, one of these shelves, and it was in this exact look, the shape and everything like that. When you see it, you'll understand what I mean. After this football season, our son got a couple trophies and stuff, and I wanted a way that I could display them, and I didn't know what shelf I really wanted, and I never found an exact shelf that I wanted. And then sitting on the floor for $10 potentially, because I do get a military discount, but because of a military discount, I did only pay $9 apparently for it. I think it's a steal because anytime I've looked these shelves up, they're always at least 30 bucks, unless if I'm not looking in the right place. However, it is an airplane shelf. I don't know how well you can see that. The propeller moves, love that. Also the wheels move. I think this is so cute. His trophies are gonna look so good up here. He really wanted this, and I somehow found it. This is the thrift haul find. In my opinion, this is the thrift haul find because I wanted something similar to this. I didn't want to pay an extreme amount, and somehow I found it for $9. At the St. Vincent, I also picked up 3 different books. 2 of them are for me, but only one is adding to my physical TBR, I think. They were only 90 cents a piece. So the first one is the one that's going on my TBR. This is The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. This is one of those that I've had, but I'm not sure if I've ever read, and I just did for Bookmas my collection of Nicholas Sparks, and then I seen this, so I was like, okay, well, if I'm not sure if I've read it or not, why don't I go ahead and pick it up, and then I can put it technically on my TBR, but I don't know if I have read it or not. So I need to figure that out first so I can determine if it's going to go on my physical TBR shelves or if it's just going to go on my bookshelf. But I know I once had this, so I would like to have it back on my shelf. And also replacing one book that I do have on my shelf, and I've already read this book, I just didn't want the movie cover anymore, and it was a paperback. I do have The Longest Ride. Somebody donated so many of these books, but I had majority of the books. I had every single one but these 2 books. And there's one that he wrote with his brother or something. I didn't pick that one up, but they did have that one. And then this one in specific, I just wanted not the movie cover. And look at it. It's so cute. I love it. I love how this cover looks so much more. And with the fact that this is a hardcover, it's gonna look so nice on my shelf. And then for a family member, I did find this little Corvette book. It's very small, but it also has like every generation pretty much of Corvette in here. It has some of the older ones, and then you can go through. And this person in specific has multiple. I'm talking 3 Corvettes. I figured this was perfect. It was one of those that I'm not saying I wasn't necessarily going to buy anything for anybody. It was just one that I just wasn't at the moment looking for anybody else. I was mainly looking for my husband and also our son. And then this came around. It was just sitting on a shelf. And I was like, you know what? This is perfect size. It can go. I know with this size and how it's all the generations of Corvettes, pretty much, I feel like this would honestly was perfect. So, there's no C7. Hey, that's okay. Stop with the best generation. Let me correct this real quick. It does not have every single generation of Corvette. It has all the way up to C6. Personally, a C6 is the only Corvette I would ever get. Potentially. I do like the split windows. However, I'm thinking more of the ZR1 or the Z06, more so the ZR1 C6. That's my dream vehicle out of all the Corvettes. I'm not a big Corvette person in general, so I do like the fact that it stops at my favorite gen, but it's kind of sad that it doesn't have the C7 in, and a little bit of the C8. I was thinking it was up to the C7 and probably not the C8, but that's okay. And then I picked up a coat for our son. I don't know if you've seen any other videos here on my channel. I think I had a reading vlog and he was playing out in the snow, and basically his sleeves were like this. He outgrew that coat, not in the waist or the length, just in the arms, and it doesn't have like that, I don't remember what it's called, but when they outgrow it, there's a stitch on the inside that you can undo and it expands your sleeves for like an inch or 2. It doesn't have that. So I did pick up, I think this is a medium, and I hope that this isn't necessarily too big, but I think it's going to be big enough to last him 2 winters. And it doesn't necessarily have a hood, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna thrift a coat, see if I can get the size that we need, and then I'll wash it. I'll probably just give this to him. He probably won't get this wrapped up for Christmas because he kind of needs it now. That coat was $7.20. And then for $3.15, I do have another shirt for my husband. This is just a little long sleeve that's darker to kind of replace one that's falling apart. And I love the buttons. I love this. I hate that men always get this option. I feel like I can never find shirts for women, and I have to go in the men's section to get shirts like this. And I don't know why I'm obsessed with the little 3 buttons at the top. The final location and also the final St. Vincent, I cannot find my receipt. It might be in here somewhere, but I cannot find it. So we're just gonna go through each and every item. The first one, let me kind of unwrap it. This is specifically for my mom. She's a big sewer. She makes quilts, things like that. I seen this and it is a music box, and I was like, I know she doesn't really want trinkets. However, I figured this was kind of perfect in her little sewing room. Like, it's kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. And I like how it almost looks like a Singer sewing machine. It was $8, which wasn't too bad. I'm sure I would have paid like 7 something for it, but I think she's going to really enjoy this. And I was actually on the phone with her when I seen this. So I don't know if she heard me talking about it or not. Hopefully not, because she was too busy talking about my grandmother, which was a great thing. This next piece that I thrifted is also for a family member, and it's one of those that I've never seen before, but I've seen people try and collect these. I've seen them try and almost fight over them in thrift stores, and I was lucky enough to find one. It's a blueberry pie tin, or not really a tin, but it's ceramic, I do believe, and it's got the lid that is a blueberry pie. It's so cute, and it also has the recipe. This is so adorable. I love this. If I wasn't necessarily giving this away, because it's perfect in my mind for somebody, for $8, I was potentially going to keep it, even though I had no place to really put it. I mean, I could put it maybe in our hutch, but I feel like it doesn't match as much. But I know that once upon a time, at least I always seen people trying and collect these. It was just sitting there on a shelf. It looked like this. So if you want to know when's the best time to go Christmas shopping, Black Friday at a thrift store is the best time. They put all their nice stuff out. It might be kind of expensive, however, they do have nice stuff. Beforehand, I also got 2 flannels for my husband. We just have a blue-red one and a very thick, this is like a worker's one almost type, and it's just a red one. Nothing too crazy, too special. However, it's closed nonetheless. I found my receipt. The music box was apparently $2.20. So originally it was $8, but I only paid $2.20 after 80 cents came off for military, and then $5 for how I said I hit 100 points, and then they gave me $5 off. For the kitchenware, that was $8. I paid $7.20. Both of the flannels would have been $9 in total, but I paid $8.10. I think she might have missed that. I feel really bad. At least I donated. However, I guess what I rounded up and donated basically was the price of this. I just feel really bad because I guess she didn't bring this up. I did find an Igloo cooler. It's not very large. It's only 9 quarts. Yeah, it's only 9 quarts, holds like 13 cans. My husband and I have been trying to find a smaller one, and I mean, it's only like 13 bucks at Walmart, but this was $3. It's cheaper here than Walmart. I can just wash it out. So this is what's going in that big bag. I'm gonna fill this with some items and put it in that big bag. Maybe like the car cleaning supplies. Now this next one was originally $2 and I paid $1.80 for it. $1.80. These things go for $50+ on the internet right now. And I should know because my sister had one of these and I had one too, but I guess I got rid of mine. And then my sister had this basically exact same one of this leapfrog, but it was white and like a green color, more like a teal color. Even though we soldered some of the wires together, for some reason it will not work. We don't know why. We've been tracing it with a multimeter to figure out what is exactly not working. So it's one of those that we kind of just gave up for the time being. I seen this new packet for, I can't remember what they're called, but they're not called leapfrogs. They're like the Jumpstart Still stuff. And I was on the phone with my mom and I said, man, it would be so nice if I could find a leapfrog in here just randomly. And I was like, I hate that I can see these new ones. I might have to go to Walmart and buy a brand new leapfrog for my son, and they don't even have the cartridges no more. And then all the old stuff that we have will not work. Sitting on the shelf for $2 that I paid $1.80. It says also that it's not been tested, probably because they didn't have batteries. However, this could be a parts one for ours. I will take my chance at $1.80. This was just sitting there and my eye caught it and I freaked out. I was so excited about this because I just really want a really nice one, or just one of them to work, because I have Scooby-Doo stuff, I have preschool stuff, I have so many cartridges that go in here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're like this. This is like 90s. I think this one's like the early 2000s, but my sister's was 1998, I do believe. It was pretty old compared to nowadays, but it's so much better than the new stuff that they have. So that was my favorite find in the beginning of the day. And then the last thing is I did pick up 4 books at 90 cents each. So I ended up paying $3.60 instead of $4. I thought about leaving one of these here, but I love older style books so much. And these are from the 50s. And I also really loved how it was like a set. Some of them are wrapped in plastic, all of them but one. And they kind of match like this. This one is a fun and fantasy little stories for children. Children everywhere, mostly magic, and then good times together. And on the inside, they do have little photos and just there's little stories. And I think my son would love this because he's been enjoying just listening to stories. We go to the library all the time. I get books for him. This one has had some water damage. It is ripply, and just the way that they have made books back then, the binding and everything, they lasted so long. I love these though. So I am probably going to freeze these potentially for like, I think 24 hours is what you're supposed to do. And then I will put them on my shelf for my older collection. And I think they're going to look so good. If not, I could potentially run back to the first St. Vincent because they had bookends, but they were wooden. They matched that plain shelf and they were wooden train sets. And I feel like these would look good in my son's room too. But he also has shelves for books already. So I don't know. And I don't want to put too many books or weight on that shelf. And that is everything that I bought today. Like I said, I spent way too much money, but it kind of equaled out because I didn't get gas. I found amazing Christmas presents in my mind. I'm so happy to go thrifting. I'm so happy that I thought about going thrifting. I never thought about it before, and just the way that when I got there, I just felt like I found such great deals, or not so much deals, but but such great items. Like they saved all these items and then they're like, okay, well for this day and this day, we're just gonna put them out on the shelf. That's basically what they did. And I'm so glad that they did, even though, like I said, I felt like I bought a lot of stuff there at first. The first time was $23 and then the second time was around $28, but then after my $5 off and then I rounded up for donation and stuff, it was $25. So I only spent about $50 at those two locations. Also at the St. Vincent, I got a free reusable bag. It's massive, it's huge. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I am so sorry that I'm going to be posting it after Christmas, so you won't get to see this video for an entire month. But nonetheless, I still think it was worth it. I hope to see you in another video here on my channel. And as always, God bless.